We're here with junior world champion, NCAA champion, and current world team member and Olympian, Nicole Ross. What's up, Nicole?
Hi, how are you?
We're great. Thank you so much for your time today. We see behind you a lot of decorated posts about you here at the Fencers Club. Specifically, you just came off a huge team event in Gdansk. You yourself had an amazing performance. Tell us a little bit about that weekend.
Oh, it was really amazing, almost surreal. But we were really flowing that day, and when we were talking about it later, the team members, Margaret, Lou, Lee Kiefer, myself, and Madison Zeiss, we were saying how it felt, it was hard work, but it felt sort of like it was meant. It felt normal. It felt, even though we've never made the podium before, it felt like we were doing what we were supposed to, and it felt right. And when we were up there, we felt like we deserved it. So the whole weekend was just awesome because of that. First, there was a great result from Nzinga Prescott in the individual. She came in the top 8, and she's been out for quite some time with an injury. So we're just so excited to have her back, and then to see her fencing, really well was exciting for all of us. Lee also had a pretty strong result in the individual, and then the next day, Nzinga was sitting on the bench as the team captain and working on tactics with our coach, Bucky, and we were all just jiving really well together. We fenced Japan first, and we fenced super strong in that round. Now, we usually win that round, and we always beat Japan, but sometimes it's been closer than others, and we were just so dominant with them, and so that felt great. I think we won 45-20, something like that, maybe 45-22. Not exactly sure on the score, but it was not close. And then we fenced our longtime rival, Korea, who we've beaten a couple of times, maybe 3 times total. And I think we beat them 45-26. Is that correct?
I think that's about right. Yeah, it's very close.
So we were really, really strong in that bout, and that just felt so amazing to come out with a big lead against them and then definitively shut them down, especially when they were fencing with really strong veteran team members. They had the 3rd place finisher the day before. They had Nam, who's a multiple-time silver medalist in the Olympics and bronze medalist in the team event, and they had another member who had won the Gdansk tournament in the individual exactly 10 years before. So a really veteran fencer who's really strong, and we dominated them.
And you talked about the domination on the Korea side, and the fact that, until very recently, it's kind of been the other way around. But that's often the round where you come up against Korea. What was different this time? And you said how natural the whole event felt, preparations.
Yeah, we really followed our game plan against Korea, which we've been working on for the last, we've been working on it for years, but we've been honing it for the last year and a half with Bucky to sort of work on drawing them out, not running at them, giving them an opportunity, giving ourselves an opportunity to maximize on their mistakes, and mixing a strong defensive game with occasional offensive technique, and also doing what each of us do really well. So for Lee, really letting her play her game and do her thing. For me, letting me be more defensive, which is what I tend to be better at in those situations, and mixing all of those different techniques together to form a cohesive team and to follow our game plan. So I think in Gdansk, we just were really on with our game plan. Not only did all of us feel on in our own fencing, but we were very closely following the plan that we constructed against Korea. So that was a great feeling.
You talked about you typically being very strong in your defense. However, against Korea, you went on a tear at the end.
Yeah.
Tell us what gave you the inspiration to take off like that.
Yeah, I was nervous because, I'm the anchor for the team most generally, and in Gdansk, I anchored every match. So going into that last bout, I do a lot of self-talk and concentration, sort of get my mind ready for this intense experience. And they switched out Nam, one of their strongest fencers, multiple Olympic medalist, for Jung, another fencer who's extremely strong, but she was their reserve. And I've really struggled with her in the past, with both of them. So I didn't really know what to think when they switched Nam out. I was thinking, yes, great, I don't have to fence Nam, and then, oh, no, I have to fence Jung. This is going to be so difficult. And it just shows that I was really prepared. I took a few centering breaths. I visualized what I wanted to do against her. And then I came out really strong in the last bout and just beat her 5-0. So I felt great knowing that I'd done the preparation, that I can fence anyone. I was nervous to fence her. I've lost to her in the past, but it was a different bout, and I just went out there and did my thing.
The intensity of fencing of which you speak.
Yes.
And now this result also was kind of a monument for women's senior foilists. When was the last time the USA had a result like this?
So the last time was at the 2008 Beijing Olympics, when the Olympic team came in second. They won a silver medal in amazing fashion. We really look up to that team as someone who achieved greatness, and they hadn't been medaling in the World Cups and the Grand Prix leading up to the Olympics. So that always gave us hope in that, just because we haven't been winning medals every single World Cup, that we can do it. But before that, I'm really not sure when the last medal was, but I think it was in the 90s. And I'm pretty sure it was with a team of maybe Ann Marsh, Felicia Zimmerman, Susie Paxton, a team that had Iris Zimmerman on it, most likely. So those are greats in our squad, in our sport, but it's been a really long time since we've medaled.
So what's different? You talk about the history compared to most recently, and how has the women's foil team been able to change things, or what's influenced that change?
Well, I think we're working more together as a team. We're attending more camps. We're working closely with Bucky to hone a strategy that we use consistently and in every match, depending on who we're fencing. And we're also working on what we're already good at and making that better, and then trying to improve on our weaknesses. So I think it's a lot about team cohesion, being on the same page, and all really coming together, doing everything we can, and maximizing all of our resources to be a better team.
And you mentioned the work with Bucky. I know you specifically have been one to really talk about his strengths and the value of having him, coach this team. What is it about Bucky that makes him such a great coach?
I really love working with him. He's an extremely fair and honest person. He really wants what's best for all of us, and on the individual side, but also to succeed as a team. And I think it's exciting for him to see improvements in our fencing, even at this very high level. We're all at a pretty high level. We've achieved a lot, but there's always more that you can do. And I think it's great for him to feel like he's assisting us in achieving our goals and getting to a place that we weren't at before. And he's always open to suggesting too. He knows a lot about fencing, and he's one of the best coaches in the world, I think. But if I have something that I want to add, or I'm working on something with my coach, he's really receptive to that, and he likes to work with all of our individual coaches and really bring them in and bring in their ideas. So he's not trying to change you as a fencer, and I think that that's a great quality.
Excellent. So adaptation and focusing on strengths. Nice. Well, apart from all the great fencing news, Nicole, for those for the fans of yours that follow your trendy style, please tell us about the latest addition to your wardrobe.
Oh, my fashion sweatpants. Well, yeah. For those of you who don't know, I actually worked a 9 to 5, more like a 7 to 10 job last year, or in 2013. And
what industry was that?
That was in finance. So I worked for a
finance.
I worked
Nicole Ross, the finance.
Yeah, I know. It's hard to believe. I worked for a mutual fund company. It was a great experience. Difficult, different than anything I'd ever experienced. But I had to wear a suit every single day, and that was a different thing for me. And I really experienced a new area of style. But I'm back to training full time and working from home for a different company, and so I get to wear athletic clothes all the time, which is something that I love. And I always like to look good, though. I don't want to.
Of course, and that you do, Nicole.
Thank you. I'm not just trying to throw on sweatpants. I'm trying to look stylish. Okay. So I'm wearing my new Lululemon. These are, I'm not exactly sure what these are called, but they have a herringbone print. I'm all about it. I think they're so winter appropriate, and I almost think they're like kind of like alpine leggings, like après ski.
And who are others within the fencing community that we might find wearing these fashion sweats?
Well, Daria Schneider, that's for sure.
Daria.
Daria, one of my best friends. Nzinga Prescott is always up on her legging selection. Jessie Laffey, she's got the leggings going on. We're always trying to like outdo each other on who's got the best leggings. Even Bucky has a hand in the fashion sweatpants. His Kappa sweatpants are really on point. No pun
Yeah, he has a bit of an addiction with the consumerism aspect, right?
Yeah, I won't go into that. Don't want to expose too much.
All right, Nicole. Well, thank you so much, and congrats once again on the result, and best wishes in Algeria.
Thank you.
All right, more later, Nicole.
See ya.